Welcome to Building the Best You, a destination for you to reimagine what is possible in your life and then create it. Welcome to the show, everybody. I'm your host, Jeanne Collins, and today we are going to talk about beauty. I am so excited. We have the vice president from Elizabeth Grant Skincare here. It's a company up in Canada. They are family-owned, family-run, no cruelty to animals. I am so excited to talk about beauty. And we have the third generation. We have Margot Grant Witz here joining us to talk about everything beauty. So Margot, welcome to the show.
I'm so excited to be here, and I love helping to change the narrative for women around the aging process. So thank you for giving me the opportunity to chat.
And I love that. And I think we have to be our greatest advocates. And there is so much stuff out there. And I am a huge believer in routine and rituals and like taking beauty routines and making them rituals. And what I mean by that is I really believe if you can take even some simple things like what you do to your body in the shower or washing your face at night, and you can make it into something that doesn't feel like I have to do this, but like I am giving this opportunity and this time and these products to myself. It changes everything. It becomes really nourishing. And I think you and I agree on this. And you view beauty and routines as rituals as well.
I see beauty and routines as rituals, but I also feel like while you're setting that motion, it can feel overwhelming, like something that you have to do. And then all of a sudden you look back one day and you're like, I've been doing this every day for 5 years, for 1 month, for 3 months. And you go, it's now just almost as if it's part of my body. So I love taking the have to out of it and just keep you on track until you just feel great about it.
It's a lifestyle. It's a way of living. All right. So talk to me about your grandmother and your company.
So my grandmother is Elizabeth Grant. She is alive and well. She's 103 years young. And we are 3 generations of Elizabeth Grant Skincare. My grandmother started this company not because she wanted to start the company, but because she wanted to fix her skin. She was a makeup artist in Elstree Studios in London, England. And she was walking the streets one day with her girlfriend, and a bomb blast went off a couple streets over, and a V2 rocket went down, and she had shrapnel on the damage of the side of her face, the left-hand side. And she was a makeup artist at Elstree Studios, so she was working on all of these incredible celebrities. But she felt she couldn't make them feel comfortable or confident or beautiful if she didn't look comfortable or confident and beautiful in her skin. And I think that is a universal truth. And I'll always say men get to experience this as well, but specifically women, where we're sort of looking in the mirror and being told what we shouldn't love to see. And it breaks us down. And so my grandmother just wanted to go back to work. She wanted to continue her career. She wanted to continue the level of financial independence that she was getting from it as well. And so every day she would go to her doctor's office and she would say, is there something for me? Can you fix my skin? And he said, no. And she said, okay, I'll come back tomorrow. And every day she would go around tea time. And one day during tea time, she said, hi, I'm here. He said, I'll be right back. I have a patient. I'll be here. So just hang out. I'll see you in a minute. And she was bored. And she always said that there was no Vogue magazines in the doctor's office at that time. She always believed her father, who passed away when she was 7, was always looking out after her. And she picked up a book, a medical journal, and she just opened up a random page because she was curious and bored, and it said war wounds. She scribbled it down. And as soon as she scribbled it down and shoved this piece of paper in her pocket, the doctor came back and said, those words are too big for you. You wouldn't understand them. And closed the book, and they had tea. And the next day she ran to her friend who was a chemist and she said, Charles, do you know what this is? And he said, yes, it's what they use to treat soldiers on the front lines on the way to the hospital to help reduce their damage and their burn to their skin. And she said, would you mind making it for me? He said, it's not going to do anything for you. She said, I didn't ask you your opinion. I asked you if you would make it for me. And he did. And around 8 to 10 months later, her skin cleared up. The scarring was gone. She went back to work. And she was working on Miss Vivian Lee. And Miss Lee said, you have gorgeous skin. What do you use? And my grandmother fell off her chair because 10 months ago, it was not that case. It wasn't you have beautiful skin. It wasn't what do you use. It was how do you hide. And she sheepishly went into her bag and she took out maybe a vial this big. And she said, this is what I use. Gave it to Miss Lee. And Miss Lee came back 2 weeks later and said, I love it. Where can I buy it? And my grandmother said, I will get right back to you about that. And she started batching it in her bathtub and she just kept going. And it was the most incredible story of not just resilience, but she would always tell me that she wanted to get into a store. So she would go to the pharmacy and say, okay, I'm here. And they said, not for me. And they said, okay. And so she would get her friends to call. Do you have the Essence of Tourism by Elizabeth Grant? They say, sorry, I don't carry it. She goes, well, can't shop with you then. And would hang up the phone. And she started to get orders from this. And so that started, we launched the very first serum on the market ever for the at-home beauty market in 1948. The next serum that came out from another brand was 1982. So it's like a big tenure of who my grandmother was. And then when she came to Canada, she retired in 92. And my mother, who is my grandmother's daughter-in-law, she is related to my grandmother through the marriage to my late father.
Okay.
She said, let's start again. And my mom and my grandmother were excited, but my grandmother said, I'm in my 70s. No, thank you. I'm not here to knock on doors. I'm an old woman. What do you want from me? And all of a sudden, from still pictures to live people, the shopping channel here in Toronto launched.
Yep.
And my mom and grandmother were like, oh my goodness, this is it. And they went on for the first 4 30-minute shows and they sold out. And now we are the #1 vendor on the shopping network here in Toronto, Today's Shopping Choice, along with 10 other shopping channels around the world. So that's what we do.
Amazing. I love that story. And your grandmother sounds like the kind of lady you want to go have tea with. Like you just want to sit and hang with her because it sounds like her stories are just so cool and she just went for it and she didn't let anything hold her back. And I love that. And I love that that spirit has been transferred down to you in some capacity. I think
Yeah.
that's incredible. So when did you get involved in the business? Was it always like, this is going to be what you're going to do? Because guess what, girl? We're here in beauty and this is your path, or not necessarily?
Not one bit. So I was unofficially with the company when I was 12 years old. And what I mean by that is my mom would say, do you want to have your friends come over? I said, yes, please. And my friends would come over. She said, okay, girls, come down to the basement. We need you to like pack some boxes and tie some bows. And I'm sitting there going, wait, what? Because we were always part of the entrepreneurial family. Like my dad would come home with 2,000 envelopes that we had to stuff or the boxes that we had to pack. So unofficially when I was 13. And then I went to school and I wanted to become an English teacher.
Okay.
And my mom said, that's so nice. No, we would like you to join the company. And I said, I see what you're saying. And no, I'm not there yet. And what's actually very smart of my mother, and it's one of the rare stories that I tell, is I was being broken up with. I'm not going to say I was breaking up. I was being dumped hard in university. And my mother said, why don't you go to the Cannes Film Festival? We're sponsoring it. And go work for it. Give you some space between you and your ex. And it gave me a lot of space between me and my ex. And I fell in love with Cannes and I fell in love with what I was doing. And I started to work more officially when I was 23 with the company.
I love that. And who wouldn't want to go to the Cannes Film Festival? I mean, that's so cool.
Correct. It was a very different life.
Yeah, you don't have to twist my arm. I would love to go do that.
I had no idea about the Cannes Film Festival. It was just something, okay, let's go. I love leaning into adventure and opportunity. And why not? You know, It could have been awful, but luckily for me, it wasn't.
Yeah. Yeah. Which is so great. So now you work with your mom. What's that like?
I work with my mom and my grandma because my grandma's still involved.
That's crazy.
So what's interesting is it's tough but it's great. And why that is because we've always grown up in an entrepreneurial family. We've always worked together. We've always talked about work at the dinner table, which to other people might seem strange, but we know how to separate church and state. And
Okay.
what I mean by that is I can argue with my boss and not like her decisions, but still she's the boss. So it is what it is. This is your ship. And she's still able and welcome to come to my home and spend time with us at dinner or hang out with my children, her grandchildren, because life is about the moments you make and it's not perfect. And if I'm so critical to who my mother is as a boss, it's completely different of a person of who she is as my mom.
Yes.
And also, my mom really built this company, like rebuilt this company from 1998 to today and made it more into what it is. So
Yeah.
she knows what she's doing. And so
Right.
I have to be able to call a spade and tip my hat and also at times eat that big bowl of crud with a smile on your face and be like, that was delicious.
Yep.
Thank you so much. Because that's also a very important part of life.
Right. You're still an employee. Yes. You can't lose sight of
I'm
that.
still an employee.
You're still an employee. All right. So let's talk about your products because you have a lot of them. I went out to your website. You have so many cool products. I was so overwhelmed. So you're responsible for innovation at a high level. How would you describe your products?
Phenomenal.
They look great. I was like, I have to buy some. I don't even know where to start, but I have to buy some.
I got you. I'll send you some and then we can take it from there. So why I say they're phenomenal is because they are bloody brilliant. They are incredible formulations. They are incredible active products that work for our needs. And what I love to say is we are the only, potentially genuinely the only privately owned skincare company in the entire world, owned and operated by 3 generations of women who make, manufacture, and formulate every single product in house. I
Yeah.
mean, I look at my grandma at 103 and I can't be like, you don't get it. You don't understand aging. Don't need to talk to you. I look at my mom, who is like an avid sun worshiper, like baby oil, tinfoil, no SPF, South African, and be like, you don't get it. You don't understand sun damage. Like, what are you talking about? So there comes from real women who are living it, who get it, who are over the age of 40, who are still here, who are still enjoying what they see. And then our head of R&D is a woman over the age of 50. So I
Nice.
love that we come from a place of us. I
Yeah.
love that we come from a place of wanting women and men, but women to really feel that life doesn't end at the age of 40, that you don't have to disappear and go out to pasture, that
Yeah.
there's a whole runway to enjoy. And so coming from a place of understanding that our skin can change through the month, the week, the year, the season, the day, the hour, is a great place to be able to make a product from
Yeah.
versus being told, oh, yeah, no, I need you to look like you're 21, but have all your life together. And by the way, don't freak out. And if you do, we will just airbrush you and change you for a younger model. Like, that's not where we're coming from. We're
Right.
coming from, I love that we have the ability to complain about aging
Mm-hmm.
because the opposite of that is not being able to age at all.
Right. Sure. Of course. It's a
So
gift.
we think that it's a gift. And so we want more women to enjoy it, be less of a crab in a bucket, and be
Yeah.
more of like, how can I fix your crown? Because it's beautiful.
Yeah. Which is so cool. And I will say, you skimmed over it, but didn't people might not have caught this. Like you guys really do in your own facility make, manage, package, ship, like everything is under your roof and under your control. Testing everything,
Yeah.
which I've never heard of.
Everything.
I've never heard of. So, and then you also test on real people. You talk about not testing on animals and have this whole thing about not testing on animals, which I think is really beautiful. I'm just curious, as a business owner in the skincare business where the cost of doing everything is through the roof and everybody outsources everything to other countries, how do you still stand by those values as a company with all the competition that is out in the marketplace to try to do it a different way? How do you do that? How do you deal with that pressure?
Okay, so is there financial pressure? Of course. That's life, but that's everything. That's if you own it or you don't own it. If you have a bill to play and a certain amount of dollars and cents, you do your best with it. The money is in the manufacturing. That's the long and the short of it. 90% of the world's skincare is not made by the brand that has the name on the label. And it's like the biggest stat that I'll always say to someone, and someone's like, wait, what? And I say this, like, you sort of follow the money because the brand that you love 9 times out of 10 is not independently owned. It's owned
Right.
by another brand and another parent.
Sure.
And that parent company knows how to make the most longevity of their formulations. And that formulation can go into many different jars with different labels, but it's the same guts.
Yes.
So for us, if we're going somewhere to make a product and based on how we are in business, which are omni channels, which are the shopping channels, which are you need new all the time,
Hmm.
it would be impossible to go to somebody else without that level of standardization, without that limitation of innovation, without all of those opportunities to succeed and fail. And so
Right.
there's that one aspect of it. But on the flip side of it, it's really nice to change lives. And what I
Yeah.
mean by that is the majority of our employees are women. 85% of our employees are women. And out of those 85% of those women are over the age of 45.
Love it.
And they quite often come from a place where they're not the breadwinner
Mm.
in their family. And then they come to us, which is a very safe, incredible place because we like to understand that you spend 1/3 of your life working.
Yeah.
And how do you make that feel better? And how do you enjoy what you do? Because it's tough. It's tough to really always enjoy what you do.
Yes.
But we love that these women, they hold their head up a little bit higher
Yeah.
and their whole being changes. And so when you see the good that you're doing in the quality of product that you're making, that the efficacy is outstanding. Like when I tell you we make products that work, we make products that work because we
Right.
want to make products that work.
Yes.
To see that the people who work with us are so proud of it, to see that people who get the product, they are so proud of what they're using. That's the lighthouse in the storm.
Yeah.
That's the piece that keeps going. And when you see it, like my mom started again when she was 46. She was working with my dad and she started again. See that my grandmother, her husband bankrupted her twice in the Elizabeth
Whoa.
Grant journey. And
Wow.
she kept going and kept starting again. There's something so empowering about that. There's something that just goes, I love that you can fail and start again. I love that you can hit a roadblock and figure out a solution. I love that people matter when they talk to us. And so
Yeah.
that's just what keeps us going.
It's the human side of it, which is so exciting. And then on top of it, with your products working, you're helping women just feel better about themselves when they look in the mirror. And as you said, once you're over the age of 40, that becomes more frustrating. I mean, like we just get wrinkles and our skin just sags and our eyes are just more puffy. And like that's just what happens. And so we're sort of on a constant path of trying to find new things. So how often do you create new products?
All the time.
Yeah. One advantage to having everything
All
under
the
your own roof and
time.
under control. Yeah.
Yeah, but also a challenge with that, right? Because it's a lot. Like, and because of the nature of the channels of always having to have new, you have to have that innovation. So we will come out with new ranges every year. Usually it's an upgrade of one of our products. So collagen goes to collagen reinforced, goes to collagen facelift, things like
Right.
that. That is what happens for new. But we have a lot of products that just stand still, like in the concept of point proven time. The essence of Trissom has been around for almost 80 years. And other than removing the parabens and saying that what my grandmother said was crude at the time of the one that she had,
Yeah.
that product's been around for 80 years, over 8 decades, and it's still here.
Yeah. Is it in every product you make or only in the serums?
So it's in every single product we make except for our perfumes, because Jerusalem, which is our proprietary blend of vitamins, nutrients, minerals, amino acids, and peptides, comes from a particular type of sea kelp that we harvest twice a year. We replant it. It's okay. We
Right.
always make sure we're not depleting. And
Yes.
it goes into every single one of our products except for our perfume. But the essence of Trissom is the most potent, the most powerful, the most concentrated of that secret sauce.
So cool. And you guys do everything. Like, you have body, you have lipsticks, like, you've got body
Everything you
scrubs.
can imagine.
You have it all. Okay, so let's
We
talk
have it
to
all.
you have it all. So let's talk to me as a consumer who went to your website, and there is
Sure.
so much out there. So I will say you do have this cool thing on your website where, like, you and your mom, and I'm pretty sure your grandmother too, have like your favorite picks on the website. So you can
Yeah.
go and see. And so I'm wondering, so two questions. Are those related to your ages in terms of your favorite picks? So that, like, if I align with your mother's age, I should look at your mother's favorite picks, or not necessarily? That's question one. And then I'll get to question two after you answer question one.
Great question. So, no, because your skin is your skin is your skin is your skin. Your concerns for your skin can happen at any age or any stage. Your type of skin can happen at any age or any stage. So, for example, I have dehydrated skin. I don't just have dehydrated skin in winter, and I don't just have dehydrated skin because I'm in my 60s. I'm 41.
Yeah.
I have dehydrated skin. So I like to use a richer cream. So
Okay.
we go from skin first. What are your skin concerns? And do you have any skin sensitivity? So those are two aspects. Now, if you're looking at my mom and my grandmother and be like, oh my God, I want what she's having, I'm in. Like
Right.
there's no wrong path with that.
100%.
So we start from a place of what are your goals for your skin, and how many products do you like to use, and what are you hoping for versus you have to use this regimented system, and if you step away from this you won't. It's no life, no.
Yeah.
Stop with this, okay?
Right. Yep.
All our products are they only work if you use them. That's it.
Right. Yeah. Okay. And then you do have a bunch of bundles to make it easier for people by pairing
We
products,
sure do.
right? Talk to me about the bundles. What makes up a bundle?
Time of year, ease of use. Someone goes, I'm brand new to the system. So
Mhm.
it could be the serum bundle, so like a day serum, a night serum, and a treatment. It could be your full system, which is a cleanser, a serum, a face cream, and like a neck treatment. It could just be like you want the glow getter, so you want to be something that makes you just so glowy and
Who
radiant.
doesn't wanna
And usually
glow?
well, the thing is, some people talk about glow, but they don't actually know what that means. And that's why I always say, like, a glow, the easiest way is a healthy skin.
Mm.
And so when you have a cold or you have the flu, you get this sallowness to you. You get this
Mhm.
yellowness to you. You get this like run down. And that's the opposite of a glow. So when people say, I want that glow, it's I want that circulation and stimulation and fresh face. And that comes from movement and the health of your skin.
Right.
So it really is when we say, what is your intention and your hope for your skin? We start from there. But to answer your very first question, and you might be like, Margot, what? So I tell people to start with 2 products only of my range. And
Okay.
I make the best products in the whole wide world. I don't even have a concern about that, because I know as soon as someone tries it, they go, "Oh, that's what my skin can look like? That's what my skin can feel like?" I know it. But I also know you bought products that you use. And however that much was, if whether it was $8, $70, $400, someone has a system that they use.
Yep.
So I don't want you to check out your system.
Mm.
Do I want you maybe to one day become a full EG tourism girl guy? 100%. But am I expecting you to chuck everything out to get there? No.
Yeah.
So I tell people to start with 2 products.
Okay.
The Essence of Trissom, which
Okay.
is our #1 best-selling serum
Yep.
that is hypoallergenic, fragrance-free, mineral oil-free, sulfate-free, silicone-free, alcohol-free, phthalate-free, not tested on animals, suitable for all ages, all skin types. And frankly, it's 1 pump mixed with any serum you have at home
Okay.
or before any moisturizer you're using. 1 to 2 drops for your entire face and neck. Thank you so much. That's it.
Okay.
Then
Sold.
then I say the Night Wonder Concentrate, which is my ah moment of skincare, because it is. It is your little Cinderella overnight skin reset. And what it is, it's like a glycolic acid base. It feels like silky water. Glycolic acid is nothing to freak out about. It is a derivative of sugarcane. Doesn't wind up on your hips. It's a nice, great exfoliator. What's so nice is it stays with you. It stays to like slough off the dead skin cells and get the gunk out, and like your little vacuum of skincare where you're like, and it's all gone. Like that, like you've changed your sheets of your skin.
Yes.
And it doesn't make you red. It doesn't make you flaky. It doesn't make you sensitive. It doesn't give you a warm, tingling sensation. Nothing. And
Okay.
it's the best of the best products. So if I can tell anybody to start anywhere, those 2 products.
Those 2. Okay.
And then
Sold.
we could take it from there.
Yeah.
That's it.
Okay. Yes. I love that. The other thing that you have that is also cool, that I love that you did this, is you have like these travel packs, which I personally am a huge fan of skincare that comes in a travel pack. Like you have like a whole series, like the whole system in a travel pack, which I love as a consumer because sometimes I want to try it, but I don't want to have to spend
Yeah.
$150 to buy the serum that I maybe then don't like. And so I just personally want to say as a consumer, thank you. And by the way, I do travel a lot and I also love having travel, like the appropriate travel size. I'm just kind of a nerd. I like it in its own packaging as opposed to me having to like stick it in the
I
little
love it.
plastic stuff from CVS. So also as a consumer,
I get it.
any company that makes stuff in travel size, I am a huge fan of that because you're making life easier for women to be able to keep your routines and your rituals going when you travel by allowing us to bring the same product. So thank you for that.
And what I love
it.
about them is the samples aren't like itty bitty, like they're proper size. Like
it's
they're
enough.
15 mil, 20 mil, 25 mil, everything except for like we all have like a mask in it, for example. And I won't tell you that the mask will last 21 days.
Right.
Because it won't.
No.
But other than like the mask and a hand cream, every other product in our travel sizes will last a minimum of 21 days.
That's
so
amazing.
you get, and like all of our before and afters and our clinicals and our efficacies are 28 days. So when you're looking at an eye cream, that the stock standard in the industry is 15 mils, 1.5, and our eye creams every day, not supersized at 30 mil, you're kind of like, oh, that's a great size. But so when you see the samples, 25 milliliters for a face cream, that's our normal face creams are 50 milliliters. And so in American speak, 1 fluid ounce.
Right.
So you'll have 0.5 fluid ounces of a product, which is not a sachet. It's not like a one-time.
Yeah, it's not a one-time try.
Go.
Yes.
You can use it. And also I love it because like, if you're like, oh, I really want a neck cream, but I don't know, or I really like the hyaluronic, but I'm wondering about the collagen.
Yes.
It feels, you can easily mix and match. And that's a little secret. You can call Amanda and say, can I mix and match? Amanda is the head of a customer care. She's amazing.
Yeah.
We're a very small team. And so when people email or chat to us, it's always us.
Yeah.
So we're on the flip of it. So if you ever want to be like, hey, Amanda, can I do the neck cream instead of the face cream? She'll make arrangements.
Oh,
nice.
I love that. I love that. It's still the small company feel, but yet larger 100%. Company, which is larger company, which is very, very cool. So do you feel pressure when you leave the house every day to feel like you're looking gorgeous to represent the brand?
No, I look gorgeous. Like,
I love you.
I can look at my skin and I do not wear makeup. Like I'm wearing makeup now because we're on a podcast and there's like a film, but even like I don't have like a lot on. Yeah. I am the firm believer I want you to have a makeup-free optional look, or I want you to be able to wear makeup and just do the best, but makeup is camouflage. So I got to treat your skin underneath, right? It's we can't go to the store and buy a new piece of skin.
Yeah.
You just
No.
you just can't do it. And so I can look at my skin very egotistically and compare it to my girlfriend's skin and be like, okay. Like I come ask
What
me
I'm
for
doing.
advice, but like I like it's fine. Or like it's funny, I'll be in a mom chat and they'll be like, the Sephora sale, what can I get? And I'm sitting there going, all right, folks, like what would you like to have? Like a girlfriend of mine's like, I'm looking for a new vitamin C serum. I was like, you can waste whatever money you want.
Right.
Go spend it.
Yeah.
But I will also give you a vitamin C serum. And as soon as I do it, their whole skin changes and they love it. And that's all that matters. I just want people to have brilliant skin for something that works, because the investment in what you're spending, it should matter. It should matter that it's giving you results that you want. It should matter that you like using it. It should matter that you don't feel guilt that you bought it and it cost you $70, but you don't really like it, but it's past the 30 days, so I can't return it. Like we all have patented ingredients or patented technologies. And aside from those two like aspects, it's like going to a grocery store. You all have the options for the same ingredients.
Mm. Yeah.
How are you making your recipe?
Sure.
Because it's not like the Johnsons and Johnsons or the Estee Lauders or the La Mers have a secret source for their sodium hyaluronate.
Yeah.
We all have the option for ingredients, and it's just how you're building it.
But you put it together. Yeah. Which I like that, because you sort of take the myth of the big brands as if just because it's a big brand, their product is better. And that is so
Sure.
not true. I personally have found that myself. Like that, just because it's a big brand, that doesn't make the product any better. Just because it costs more, it doesn't make it better.
They've paid a lot of money to tell you it tastes.
Right. Exactly. So really the cost and the brand and the name has nothing really necessarily. It's not a direct correlation to the efficacy of skincare products. And I think our skincare industry is so blown out of proportion that it's so hard for people to know. So one of the things I would love to know, because one of the things I think that's so unique about your company, as I started to look into your company when your agency reached out to me, is I was like, you guys have just such a cool brand story, you know? And like the
Thank you.
energy of your brand, the energy of the family, how you produce things, your mission, what you're after, how you give back to charity is such a cool story. So how are you trying to get that word out as part of your job of what your brand story is?
So what's crazy is we've never once paid a dollar for advertising. It's
Wow.
just been something that my grandmother has always said. She's like, I can pay someone to tell you I'm great, or someone's going to use my product and tell you it's great.
Yeah.
And so we do a lot of word of mouth, and we're very grateful for that. Now, is that sometimes the wrong strategy? 100%. But it would have been the wrong strategy 20, 30, 40 years ago.
Mm.
Today, you can't throw enough money at something to make a
Right.
dent.
Sure.
And it's very fast paced, and the landscape keeps changing. Like even traditional PR, what it was 10 years ago doesn't exist today. Influencers 5 years ago are no longer influencing anything. Now they're content creators. So that's changed. And so you just have to sort of continue to know who you are. And I think that's universal. I think that goes beyond a business.
Mm-hmm.
If you are confident in who you are, in your own 2 feet, every decision you make, it could be wrong for someone else, but it will be right for you.
Mm.
And that doesn't mean that the outcome becomes exactly what you wish it to be. But usually it's not a square peg, round hole. And what I mean by that is you can take a square peg and you can shove it into a round hole. You can make it fit and you can say, it fits. But that square peg kind of gets a little damaged, or maybe it's stuck, or maybe it chipped and you can't fix it. So I always say, if you have the confidence to know who you are and to be the best to the people who love you, because you can't be everything to everyone. You just can't,
Yes.
unfortunately.
Mhm.
But be okay. And
Yeah.
when I tell you that we've had customers here in Canada for 27 years, in Germany, 25 years,
Wow.
people who've been with my grandmother for 30 years, 40 years. When I have someone write to me and say, my grandmother used it, my mom uses it, I use it, I'm doing something right
Yes.
because it's making people want instead of feel pressure.
Yeah. Yeah. And you're helping women feel beautiful and feel good about themselves.
Yeah.
And if they don't feel good about themselves, the energy that they're putting out is not as good. And they're not as likely to do good into the world if they don't. Everything, I believe, starts with you and how you feel
Everything.
internally about yourself. And if part of that has to come from how you externally look, but honestly, how your skin feels. If your skin feels like dry and cakey and gross, it's really hard to feel really good. Like, let's be
But also,
honest.
if
It's
your
like,
feet hurt, as
yeah,
silly as that sounds, if your feet hurt, you can see it on your face. But you did
yeah,
say something. We're been made to feel that we're not good enough from as long as I can remember, from being a little girl. And it's a narrative that goes forever. You're either not tall enough, not small enough, not blonde enough, not brunette enough, not chesty enough, not bum enough,
yeah,
not small enough, not this right mental enough, not this right religion enough, not this right gender. And it's always not enough. And you're sitting there going, but you're great. And
yeah,
I'll always tell women that regardless of what you look like, there's always going to be someone who tells you or makes you feel that you should feel smaller or not to take up space or you're not good enough to sit at the table. And ladies and gents, but ladies, y'all are the table.
yeah.
There would not be anybody sitting at the table without you.
Yes,
And
of
each
course.
table is allowed a different flavor. Each
Yeah,
table is allowed to have different people sitting at the table. And you're allowed to say, like, you know what, I want a buffet today. So I might not be the right shape and size today, but the person next to me is also not the right shape and size because they were told they weren't. But you know what? We get on.
yeah,
And so I think for us, those wrinkles and crinkles are always attached to a moment and a memory. So the crow's feet, it's because you're smiling and because you're laughing so much. And you laughed so much that you cried with your best friend. You know, the melasma, which can come out in pregnancy more, or because you were laughing and frolicking on the beach because you didn't think anything would happen. And it's all attached to a life worth living.
yeah,
And so I'm happy to help, but I'm not here to erase. The only thing
yes,
I'm here to erase is the bad conversation you have with yourself. If you're not enough, let's give you all the reasons of why you're outstanding.
yes. Which is so beautiful because you're taking it so far deeper, so much deeper than just skincare. It's really trying to have a platform
100%.
and a message and a brand that represents something so much deeper than just the skincare and the serum and the routine and the rituals, which I think is so beautiful. Okay, I'm curious. Fast forward 5 years. What's on your bucket list for the brand?
The brand. Oh God. I thought it was going to be for me. I'm like, for me, that was even hard.
You could do you too.
The brand's just going to keep going. It's the
Yeah.
same tiny little goal I've had since I was 12.
Yeah.
And that's to be in every single person's bathroom around the world. That's it. It has been the exact same dialogue and narrative that I've had for people. Next 5 years, continuously to make products that work, continuously show up for our audience, get people who don't watch the shopping channels to know about us. I think that's
Yeah.
also a different
Mhm.
plight because it's a certain social economic norm who is fine to watch omni channels, HSN, QVC, TBSN, all of them. And then there are people who are like, no,
Right.
wouldn't touch that, not
Mhm.
my vibe,
Yeah.
until you get one product on it. And you're like, wait,
Yeah.
I can buy this for that? It's great.
Yeah.
It's a whole thing. And that's your entry. But
Right.
5 years, we just want to continuously have a great e-commerce platform that people find a product that they know that they love to get into. I love talking to the elder millennial
Yeah.
and Generation X. I love that generation because I feel that no one talks to them.
Yeah.
They're just not old enough, but not young
Right.
enough.
Right. Yeah. Yep. Mhm.
So
Yeah.
I just like people to, I just want people to feel that they're not a dollar sign to a company, but they're part of a community and a fabric to make the next generation better.
Yeah. Which is so beautiful. I love that. All right. So I have 2 questions left. First, did I miss anything? Did we not talk about anything about the brand, the business, you, women, anything that we want to talk about? Did I skip anything that we think is so important? And by the way, everybody, you can order online. You can order online all of her products, by the way. Like you don't have to watch Seven Channel. You can go right to her website and buy whatever you want.
You
But
sure can.
you sure can. So, did I miss anything?
So I always love to say, like, I'm a living infomercial. That's just what I do. But what I always like to say is where that confidence came from was my grandma.
Yeah.
And my grandmother was always told that she also wasn't good enough and she also wasn't pretty enough and she also wouldn't amount to anything. And so she felt from a very young age that if someone says no and closes the door, this is only in regards to everything but sexual identity, and no means no when it comes to that world.
Right.
Okay, I will
Yes.
make
Sure.
that very, very
Sure.
clear.
Of course. Yeah.
But
Right.
when someone says no to you in business, it just probably means not right now.
Not right now.
So they
It's
might
true.
close the door, but go through a window. So
Yeah.
if someone keeps saying no to you, you just need one yes, because there's going to be so many more no's than there's going to be a yes for you.
Yes.
So that's one aspect, which I love.
Mhm.
And then the
Mhm.
other aspect is, ladies, just be nicer to each other. I
Mm.
mean, don't be such a crab in the bucket. The world is big enough for all of us. We have enough people who are going to pull us down. You don't have to pull someone down. You don't have to be the archetype that you think. Fix someone's crown. Someone's going to fix your crown. It's going to be great.
That's
And I think
beautiful.
ladies sort of have to have that camaraderie again, because everyone always says the conversation of it takes a village to raise a child. But it takes a village to be a woman, because you need so many people to help you every step of the way.
Yeah.
So just keep showing up as your village.
I love that. And it does. It takes you need support, and you need different support from different types of people at different stages of your life. And I love that message of just be nicer. Be slightly
Just
nicer.
be nicer.
Just be nicer.
Yeah.
Because
Don't
you
be a
know what?
pushover.
But just be
That's it.
nicer. Just be nicer. Because if
Yeah.
we all could just be a little bit nicer, you have to believe, let's start with women because women should be running the world. But if we all as women could just be a little bit nicer, I think it can really make the world a better place. So I love that. Thank you. That is a perfect
100% it
way.
can.
Perfect. All right. A book. You loved reading. You wanted to be a teacher. I love to ask everybody if there's a book they've read or books, you can recommend more than one, impacted you personally, professionally that you think people should read. So what book or books would you like to recommend?
Okay. So there are two different books.
Yeah.
Okay. One will always be my father's book, which is One Powerful Mind. And it's written by Paul W. Witz. And One Powerful Mind is to understand your emotional intelligence and your emotional reactions. It is a
Yeah.
language that I think is imperative that people know about themselves. Because when you know about yourself in terms of what triggers you, or how if someone was aggressive makes you feel, communication is the most important aspect in life. It will get you as far as it can take you, as further than your feet can walk you, because
Yeah.
we have to be able to have these big conversations. But the book that I gift to people,
Yeah.
I gift it left, right, and center, is Hector and the Search for Happiness by François Lelord.
Ooh, I haven't
And
read that
it
one.
is so he has Search for Happiness, Search for Time, Search for Love. That's sort
Okay.
of
Mm-hmm.
the three. But the happiness is what started it all. And basically, he's a psychologist, and every single patient comes to him and complains, "I want to be happier. I want to be happier. I want to be happier."
Yeah.
So he travels the world to find people's different definitions of happiness. And he has this list, and they turned it into the movie, and a movie doesn't even do it justice.
Never
But the
does.
list is just, it's so good. And it just reminds you how much bigger the world is than you, and how your greatest frustration could be someone's greatest blessing that they're hoping for.
Mm,
And I
yeah.
think when we can sort of know that universally, we have so much more together and so much more that connects us versus what separates us. It's a beautiful story. And I've gifted this book to everyone. And when people go, what would you want me to do with this book? I go, please gift it to someone
Gift
else.
it to someone
because
else.
it's just a lovely book. It just makes you feel not that anything is possible, but you can get through it. And I think the world needs to know you can always get through it. The stuff that you didn't think that you could get through, you did.
You did, and
And
you
this is a
can.
great book.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm ordering that today. Yep. Can't wait to read that. Thank you so much.
Such a good book.
I love it. You give me goosebumps just talking about it and thinking about it. And I love books that just inspire people about gratitude and taking a pause and just looking at your life a slightly different way, because it's really easy to be negative and be down about yourself and your life, because life is not easy. Let's just be honest, especially as women
Life
juggling
is
everything.
not easy.
Life is not easy. All the women out there that
and
are trying to
especially
do
when the
all the
landscape
things.
keeps changing.
Exactly.
The landscape keeps changing. You
It's
got
not
it
easy.
together, and then it changes, and you're like,
Exactly.
what?
Right. Exactly. It is not easy, and your body changes as a woman as you age, and you're like, wait, I figured out the health routine that worked for me, and then all of a sudden your hormones change and you're like, oh wow, that didn't work anymore, honey. Like, gotta start over.
It is a privilege that our bodies get to change. Women go through physical form of puberty every 4 years.
Yeah.
It is a privilege. It is a privilege that your hips grow wider. It is a privilege that our hormones can change and a little bit more. I'm not going to say a lot, but people are leaning into a little bit more that women's health matters.
Yeah.
And it changes. But, it's one of those things that everyone will say, the good old days. The good old days are now.
Yeah, I agree.
And the perfect example is you'll look in your photos when you're 20 or 30 and go, ugh, I wish I had that body. But in your 20s or 30s, you were just like, I need to be fitter. I need to have this. I need to do this. You don't get to appreciate it. So
It's right now.
enjoy the level up, ladies. It happens all the time. It's going to keep changing.
Yeah.
Enjoy it and just enjoy the good days today.
Perfect way to end. Thank you so much, Margot, for being on the show. I am so excited to try your products. I'm going to share it with the world on Instagram as I try them. I love your company. I love your platform, your grandmother, your mom. You guys are just awesome women doing a lot of really good in the world, not only from a product perspective, but also from a company perspective and company culture. I think the world needs a little more of what you guys are delivering on a company culture part. And that is a whole nother podcast. So I might have to have you back to talk about company culture. Because I'm really passionate about company culture and women and finding yourself and making sure you're still a priority within your company culture. Because I really think it helps women be the best versions of themselves if they can be seen as real women, not just a number on a board. So anyway, I digress.
Yeah.
But so excited to try your products. Thank you so much for being a guest. We will absolutely stay connected. Everybody will be able to find you in the show notes. They will link to you, social media, your website. They can buy your products. They can try. I thank you very much. And if I ever make it up to Toronto, I'm going to reach out because I would love to see the facility where you guys work. It sounds really cool. So thank you for being a guest. I love it.
Anytime. Come on over. And thank you so much for having me. And everyone, thank you for welcoming me into your hearts and into your homes. I really appreciate it.
It is beautiful. Elizabeth Grant Skincare, everybody. Have a beautiful day and we'll stay connected. Thank you, Margot. Thank you for joining us for this week's episode of Building the Best You. If you are ready to take a deeper dive into transforming your life, check out my Empowerment Fundamentals course on my website, houseofgermar.com. Thank you, and I will see you next week with another inspiring guest.